A ballerina's perspective, from performing with New York City Ballet and Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater to publishing poetry books and mentoring kids and teens. Join us in a weekly discussion with experts to gain mental health clarity and achieve growth and moral consciousness. Give our show a 5 stars, comment, share, and come along for the ride. Welcome back to the podcast where we talk about all things mental health, wellness, healing, relationships, business tips, and so much more. And today we have a very special guest, Ellana. She is a certified personal trainer and has been in fitness for about 5 years, and her specialties are weightlifting, functional training, and calisthenics. And she's currently training for the High Rocks and New York City TCS Marathon. So, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to chat.
Thank you. I'm excited as well.
Yes, it's very nice to talk about fitness. I feel like wherever you are in the spiritual journey, because many of our listeners are kind of shifting to be more well rounded and trying to find mindfulness. Fitness is a great first step to like physical activity and finding that physical release. So, what inspired you to get into the world of fitness?
So initially, I simply wanted to be stronger. I felt like I'm a bit on the shorter end, being 5 feet 0 inches. So, and as a female, I wanted to basically prove not just to the world, but to myself that I am worthy, period. So just worthy as a human being, worthy in the physical and the mental sense. And I I just wanted to feel better throughout my day to day and not really better physically because when I started my journey, it was around it was during my last year of high school, beginning year of college, when I just had the thought of fitness and just being healthy and running and still not knowing much about it, but just wanting to be healthier. So that was the time I started, and that was the time that it led me to my formative years. So I grew, I grew in terms of my physical self. I grew mentally, I grew emotionally. I learned a lot because that was also during my university years. And so I just wanted to feel better and improve in every sense of in every aspect of my life, at least at that time. So there wasn't one traumatic incident, thankfully, or there wasn't anything that kind of triggered me or prompted me to, just be strong. But I think it was just throughout just journey throughout my life, I wanted to kind of prove to myself that I'm worth it. And so I think once I started being healthier, I'm like, oh wow, I feel like I'm allowed to take up space. And then I realized the effects of fitness and just being healthier overall. It led to so many more positive outcomes in other areas in my life. And I'm like, why not just continue this, you know? And so basically, it was just kind of a multitude of things that to led me to the fitness realm.
That's a
Yeah.
beautiful, well rounded area. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I love that. I feel like whether you go into fitness in different periods of your life, it's such a fun feeling. And there are so many different kinds of fitness, right? Like I personally grew up dancing ballet, and I
Right.
really enjoy that fitness aspect of being in movement and also connecting with music and that kind of art form added. And when I started
Right.
to do like exercise, like just going to the gym or going to like do a yoga class or Pilates class, like that was fun for me too. If you're ready to shake off that daily stress, come join us for online beginner, adult, ballet, and yoga classes each week to connect with the flow of movement and the art of ballet into perfect synergy. Come as you are and learn to love your body a little bit more and gain strength and flexibility with each class. All are welcome. Sign up at balletartsmovement.com televital@gmail.com. First class free. Televital supports focus, energy, immunity, sleep, recovery, and resilience. Start feeling better today on a cellular level with zeolite, super green juice, micronutrient gut support, and more. Get over 50% off your first order for Televital. Link in the description of the podcast. So it's interesting to have like all these different kinds. You have like a favorite, a personal favorite, and it probably changes, right? Like different styles of fitness or different kinds of machines you
Types of
run. Yeah,
fitness.
types. Yeah.
Right, right, right. So I would say, yeah, it does change for the most part, not exactly. I think the change is more so during the start of the journey. Um, but the change usually revolves around like your knowledge, around what you know about fitness. And then the thing is, it changes, but then you kind of still go back to your roots and you still go back to doing and following the same routine that you enjoy and you've once enjoyed. Because if you found something, or let's say you found a routine or you found a specific type of fitness from the get-go, that means you liked it. That means you most likely enjoyed it. And so you wouldn't steer that far from something that you initially enjoyed. Because the thing about fitness that's truly the one of the most important things about it is consistency. So if you actually enjoy doing something, you will be consistent at it. If you're not gonna enjoy it, then I mean, the consistency will only be based on entirely discipline, which is great, but then it's nice to also have something that you enjoy, like a hobby or a habit, you know?
Yes,
So yeah.
totally. Yes. And talking about the marathon, which was really interesting, and that sounds exciting. You want to tell the audience a
Yes.
little bit about like shifting from fitness and the possibility of marathons and what that's about and who's eligible to participate.
Right. So I did not begin my journey as a runner, or at least let's just say I had different transitions throughout my entire journey. So I went from just being healthy overall, learning about nutrition, and just biking more because I enjoyed biking, right? And then I ran a little bit, mostly jogged, but I didn't know exactly why I was doing it. I just thought it was just healthy, right? um didn't inherently enjoy it as much, and then I got into calisthenics and weightlifting, and that's really where my fitness journey took off a bit more, and essentially because um I enjoyed that the most, doing those kinds of those being in that realm of fitness, in those realms, so calisthenics and weightlifting. And then I was in Miami visiting my grandmother, and my aunt was there actually at the same time. And so she asked me to go running with her one morning. And as much as at this point in my journey, I was not running whatsoever. But I decided to run. So every day, 7 a.m., woke up, ran just 1 mile outside. So we stuck with the bare minimum, but we had a goal. We had a very specific goal, and that goal is 1 mile, and we were consistent. Then I returned to New York, and I thought, you know what? I'm already doing it. Why not just continue just for fun? Why not? Right? I'm already consistent. Let me see where this goes. Then I had a friend who put this marathon idea in my head, and I'm like, you know what? Why not challenge myself? So decided I'm going to start training for the marathon. Who is eligible? There are certain time constraints for those who already run marathons. That's one way. You have to have a certain marathon time, so you would have had to already run a marathon in the past. You can also fundraise. There are different organizations with whom you can fundraise for or with rather, or you can start your own. Or if you are a New York, I believe New York City resident, then you are able to sign up with New York Roadrunners, which is the organization that hosts the marathon. So you can sign up with them. You run 9 races with them the year prior to the marathon, and you volunteer one race, and then you are automatically eligible to run the following year for the marathon. So that's basically how you're able to run it. And I'd say it's really shifted my mindset in terms of really sticking to something that's very, 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 you have to be very determined, very disciplined, because if you're not sticking to your routine, then maybe your endurance will go down a little bit.
Podpitch is the first and only software that finds, writes, and sends pitches to podcast hosts from your actual email address. Podpitch will make sure you get podcast bookings, guaranteed. Link in the description of the podcast. ClickFunnels easily build any type of online business and sales funnel in record time, no matter what your product, service, or niche, without any tech design or experience whatsoever. Try the ClickFunnels 14-day free trial. Link in the description of the podcast.
So it's been a journey, to say the
That's
least.
fantastic. Yeah, that's very interesting. And that whole story, the journey that you explained, the beginning part of it, and then the consistency and having that determination, I think those are great qualities to use, as so many of us do want to kind of have those goals to achieve something that we're passionate about, that helps us, helps our physical body, helps our mental self-esteem, all these really great
Right.
qualities. And is there like, how do you feel after that? Like, do you feel anything negative? Like, obviously there's exhaustion and stuff like that, but
Right, right. It
what are
feels like the
the negative
rest.
versus like the positive after run?
Right, right. Well, after the runs, or at least after any workout, you definitely feel accomplished and you feel like you deserve the rest. Even though, even if you didn't work out, you still deserve that rest, but it's kind of your mind playing tricks on you where you're now you have something to say that you've crossed it off as a, on your checklist and you're done. Now you deserve that rest, right? So it feels just more empowering, very, like you've accomplished something. um but I'd say fitness really does, it does correspond to a lot of areas in our lives, right? So whether we have specific goals in our workplace, or any personal goals, relationship goals, I mean, there's a step-by-step process to being able to achieve those goals, right? And then once we reach certain goals in life, not just in fitness, we then add other goals. So it's just basically, it's just continuous. It's never, that's the thing about fitness. It's really a never ending journey. It's just something that's part of all of our lives, and it means something different to all of us, whether it be a different realm of fitness, like calisthenics or weightlifting or running, or it could just be a different, so it could be, it means something different for everyone. So,
I wanted to also mention that a lot of our listeners are also on a journey of recovery, whether they're going through different physical things, whether it's like an injury, or sometimes they're recovering from addiction. And that physical fitness is a really crucial part in the recovery, as it adds to that healthy release, and it adds to that healthy circulation to clear the mind and clear the air and stuff like that. From a fitness expert perspective, what would you say for people who are wanting to make sure that they're not becoming addicted to fitness? Because just like anything else, obviously we have addictions to things. And as much as fitness is fantastic and wonderful, how do you know if you're doing it too much and it's becoming like an addiction? Because people do want to kind of like continue to find balance with everything they do, right?
right, right. So I think it's just that there's a very, very, very fine line between discipline and being determined. And when you lose that motivation, but you want to be consistent, you're still going at it, right? You're still being very disciplined. You're still trying to stick to your journey, be on track, and overtraining overtraining, and that kind of ties in with addiction and having an addictive personality, or not even addictive personality, but if you're just simply overdoing it and doing it not for the right reason. So there is a very, very fine line. Generally, at least when it comes to fitness, your body will tell you if you are overtraining. You will feel the fatigue. Even when you are not working out that day and you feel fatigued, that is your cue to take that rest.
Unlock your best life with Soul app. Book a holistic wellness experience with a trained guide and start changing your life today with compassion practices, inner healing, food and diet, and so much more. Tap into a healthier and happier life with the number one purposeful living app in the US, the Soul app, link in the description of the podcast. Sanger Daniel's online seminar promoting a positive message of self-healing with bioenergy work together with live seminars and remote coaching. Use code BIO20 for a 20% discount for our audience. Link in the description of the podcast.
And if you are still pushing past certain limits, if you are physically in pain and you are still working out, then you are overdoing it. You are overtraining, you are too tired, something's not right. You simply need to stop. And that's it. Essentially knowing when to stop because of how you're feeling and how your body is responding, or even before working out, knowing, okay, today I didn't sleep enough. Maybe I didn't fuel myself enough, so I'm going to take that break that I need. So essentially knowing when to take that break, but making sure that you still have that discipline to still push past even when you lost that motivation. I think it is a very fine line, but knowing when to stop before and during the workout is important. Also, another thing that I like to do is I like to schedule my rest days. So I know roughly around the weekends, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I will take 1 or 2 rest days. It's scheduled. So for someone who does have more of an addictive personality or they may not know exactly when to stop, schedule the rest days so you know that they're coming and you know that you have that recovery period. Yeah.
Amazing. Yes. These are great tips and a great explanation. And when it comes
Thank you.
to, I guess, just your goals, what is next for you in terms of what is inspiring you? What is fitness inspiring you to do next?
So I think when you've been in the fitness industry fields, etc., for some time, it's normal to reach plateaus when you're not progressing as much. So you make most of your progress during the beginning stages, at the very least, to the middle stages. So this is actually one of the reasons that I actually took up the high rocks and the marathon because it's a little bit more so out of my comfort zone. It's a little bit different than what I already do and include in my training. And so when you feel like you've maybe reached plateaus or you feel like the motivation has declined a little bit, then you can always switch to something else and then still go back and return to, the area, the realm that you love the most. So I'd say at least as of right now, my focus is still on weightlifting calisthenics just to be stronger physically and mentally, right? Um, and training for the high rocks, training for the marathon that's going to take place in November this year. And I would say still pushing past my limits and see where I'm able to take it. So after the marathon, potentially um, a half Ironman, which includes running, cycling, and swimming.
Wow.
Again, this deviates from the usual, but I think that's what makes it so interesting is you can include so much in fitness. So
Wow.
that's basically where the next kind of will be.
Fascinating. It's very interesting. Do you have clients? Are you accepting clients?
So I'm currently accepting clients only online, so only virtually.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. And where can people connect with you and see your content and or sign up for a virtual class?
So you can find me on Instagram. My handle is Ellana Fitness, Ellana. And I do have a Google Forms. That's where the virtual clients are. Or you can simply send me a message and we will go from there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Alana. I had such a beautiful conversation, and I feel like our listeners are going to get such a nice, well rounded understanding of the journey of fitness to hopefully inspire someone new or just inspire and motivate people who are already in the fitness world to keep improving and keep feeling holistic overall, mind, body, and soul.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This was so lovely.